Good evening. This is Pat. Welcome to Pat's Card Corner and my Take Two Tuesday. Can't say that real fast because I get all tongue twisted. And my week is kind of all thrown off this week because my husband's working weird hours, so I almost forgot to get on, but I remembered. So I've got a great card to share with you today or tonight, and I just need to make sure I turn my sound off over here. Okay, so if you're joining me tonight, I hope that you will leave me a comment, say hi, and if you have any questions when I'm going through the card that we're going to make, just type them out and let me know, and I'll try and pay attention over there. I need to fix my screen just a little bit. I think I'm okay. I look a little crooked. There. I want to make sure you get to see everything. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be really fun. So today or tonight, I'm going to make this card. I made a card similar to this last night in my card group, and I just changed it up just a little bit. So this is a fun fold card. This is what it looks like when it's closed. And when it opens up like this. You can stamp another greeting here or write your note on there, but you can see that it's kind of hidden behind the thing. So it kind of opens like that. You can set it up so it'll stand up. And when it's standing up, it can look like this so they can see everything inside. So that is the card that we're going to make tonight. So the card that I made last night it's a little bit different. It's a little darker, and I'll explain why I changed it just a little bit. So I'm going to move that out of the way. This is the one that I made last night. I just love these cards. They're so cute. Got a little melted snowman on there. He says, sadly, Frosty's first hot cocoa turned out to be his last. Poor thing, he got melted. But it opens the same way. This one, I added another little piece of Designer Series paper on the inside just to give it a little thing. But both of these cards and both of the sentiments and images come from this stamp set called Don't Stop Believing. It's really cute. It's got kind of funny things on it. This one says, don't get your tinsel in a tangle. The Santa one, it says, it's all fun and games until Santa checks the naughty list, which is kind of fun too. So anyway, tonight we're going to make this little elf. So, and instead of doing red, I'm going to do mine tonight in olive green. And the reason that I changed up, you can tell if you look at these two, I added a matte to the background of my paper right here compared to this one. And the reason I did that is because if your card base is white and the paper you're putting on it is pretty much the background is very white, it kind of gets lost in all the whiteness. So by adding a little matte behind it, then you can bring out the colors not only in the paper, but you also kind of notice it a little bit more. So first we're going to go over the supplies that you're going to need and how your paper should be cut. So we're just going to do that real quick. So you will need a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm not sure if you, well, you can see that I have scored it at 2 1/8 and at 4 1/4. So it's 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And when you fold it, you're going to fold it in like this, and you're going to crease it really good. And just get my bone folder here. So you're just going to crease, just make sure you have a really good crease, and then you're going to fold it back the other direction, and that's what makes it do this, kind of like an accordion. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit so I can get a really good crease on it. And it's going to fold like that. So you'll need, so that's this piece. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Then the other pieces that you're going to need, you're going to need some solid color. Oh, I'm missing a piece. I guess I'll have to cut one. You're going to need a solid color cardstock that matches your paper. This paper is from the Heartwarming Hugs paper set. So this color is called Old Olive, and you're going to need one piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And don't worry if you don't get all these measurements down. I am going to put them in the comments so that you'll be able to see them, and so you can try this yourself. So these are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and you need 2 of those. You also need one piece. They almost look the same, but one's a little bit smaller. One piece that is 3 inches by 4 inches, and one piece that is 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So, and you will also need, in fact, for some reason I don't have those, and so I'm going to cut them right now. You also need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock too. So let me, I don't know how I forgot those, so we're just going to cut some. So I also need one piece of Whisper White that's 3 by 4, so I'm just going to cut this down. So that's 3 inches by 4 inches. I always have I'm always missing something. I'm not sure why, but now you know I'm human. And the other one you're going to need is 2 7/8 inches, so just a tad smaller. So I'm going to do 2 7/8. Oh, I didn't do that right. Whoops, hold on. Good thing I have extra paper around. I put that at 1 7/8. 2 is right here. 3 is over here. 2 7/8 is right there. So let me just, that's 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. So let me make sure I get all the way over, almost to the 4 7/8. There we go. Now I got it. So I will be sure to have all the pieces and all the correct numbers when I put the directions in the comments, or the measurements in the comments. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start layering, because we're going to make this ours look like this. So we're just going to start layering the paper. So I'm going to take my green piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and we're going to layer this piece right on top, just like that, and we're going to attach that. I have some my glue right here. Pretty on the back too, isn't it? Okay. And just going to put it on right here. One thing I like about using the liquid glue is you can, if you don't have it on exactly straight, you can just slide it just a little bit while you're putting it down so that you get it straight. So we have that piece. Then we're going to take these 2 pieces, and these are, I'm going to tell you again how big they are. They're 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and we're going to put each of these on top. And these pieces were, where is it? I have my directions somewhere. These are 1 3/4, I believe. Oop. They're going to go on just like that. And we're going to put this one on. Oop. Just like this. And see, I needed to straighten it out because I didn't get it quite straight the first time. So these don't have a very wide margin around the outside for the green, so you kind of want to make sure you get them right where you want them. Actually, I need to scoot this one over just a tad. Okay. And then we have 2 of these. I am going to stamp on this one, so I'm going to not attach that quite yet. This is the smaller piece. This is the 3x4, and this is the 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. It's just a 1/8 of an inch smaller than the cardstock piece, than the old olive cardstock piece. Just going to attach that. Okay, and then we're going to attach all these pieces to our card base. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back. You can see you don't need it all over the middle, just around the outside is fine. This glue sticks very well. And you can see having the green around it just kind of helps pop up the paper just a little bit so it's not all white. And then we're going to attach each of these. They're going to go on just like this. I'm going to attach those. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm not sure if people are making Christmas cards as many as I am, but I just love Christmas. It's one of my favorite time of the year. It's just, I don't know, it's a happy time all the time. For me anyway. So I always look forward to it. So making cards, something that makes people happy when they get them in the mail. So it's kind of fun to make them when you know you're making someone happy. So there you go. And then this is a smaller piece. It's going to go right here, right in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And then we're going to do a little stamping and a little bit of coloring to make the elf. So we're just going to, so you want to center this right on your card. It's easy to center it with this because they're like little stripes, so I can tell exactly where I am. I have 2 on this side, 2 on this side. I got 3 there, 3 on the bottom. So it's pretty much right in the middle. Okay, so now I'm just going to set this aside for a minute. Got a little glue on there. And we're going to stamp this little elf on my piece of paper right here and do just a little bit of coloring to color him in. So I am stamping the image with some Memento black ink. This is water-based ink because I'm going to be using alcohol-based markers, so I can stamp on this with the ink, and when I put the markers on it, they aren't going to smear or cause the ink to run or anything like that. So I'm just going to make sure I ink this up really good because it is black and you can kind of see. So I'm just patting it really good. I'm not sure how. I need to re-ink my ink pad, so not quite want to make sure I get it right. And then I'm just going to stamp him in a little bit below because I want to put a little sentiment across the top. So there's my little elf. I put the lid on my ink so you don't want to mess that up. And then I'm going to color him. Since he's going to be green around the outside, I think that this elf is going to be dressed in red. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends markers and just kind of start filling him in. So you do want to start on the inside of the lines when you're doing this. This has lots of little parts in it, so I'm just going to kind of color his hat. Kind of got to watch where I'm coloring so I don't want to give him a red face or red ears or anything. So he has a little bit of hair there, so I'm going to go around there. And we're just going to do just a little bit of coloring. Add a little bit more to his hat there. I think I missed just a little bit down here, right around his face. There we go. And I'm going to make his shirt red also. It's going to be he's going to be a red and a green elf. This is real red is the color that I'm using. This is the dark, so I'm trying to get his sleeves in. He's got Christmas lights all wrapped around him, so I kind of have to be careful where I'm coloring so I don't accidentally get the Christmas lights. And let's see, kind of go around his shirt just a little bit. He's kind of got his knees pulled up. So we're going to put his little elf suit on there. Yep. Might need to get myself some better glasses. I can see what I'm doing here. And good thing is, if you mess it up, you can restamp it if you needed to. So these marker are alcohol based, like I was telling you, so that you can see that the black ink is not smearing even if I'm going over the black where it's stamped. But these markers also have a fat tip and a skinny tip. You can see this is the fat one. It's got a little, and that's the skinny. When you're doing something that's really small like this, or has a lot of little spots that you need to color in, that you want to use the small end of, I think I've got it. Okay, so now we're going to give him, we're going to color his socks green, I think. So I'm going to use the darker one. He's going to be wearing green socks. And then in a second, we're going to color in, I think he's got a little bit more red in between here, where his legs are. Yep, that looks more, that looks better. Okay. And let's see. And then we're going to start coloring in some of these lights. So I have some yellow because some of the lights should be yellow. We're just going to kind of randomly, because you know Christmas lights are like that. They're just random. They're not all the, well, some of them are all the same color. I like mine to be all different colors. So we're going to do some red. Put a red one over here, and a red one down here. Do another yellow one over here. I think I'm going to go get a little bit of orange, so hold on just a second. I'm going to do a little orange one down here. I'll do a little blue one. I don't know, my trees all have different color lights on them. And I say trees because I have more than one tree. I don't know about any of you, but I like to have lots of different colors. So we're also going to use some bright pink. Wouldn't that be fun? A little pink there. This is another pink one here. I think I got all my little ornaments filled up. And Now we're going to give him some darker green shoes. I don't know. I'm trying to think what color elves are when I see them in like movies and stuff like that. And I think they're usually dressed in green, but he's going to be red tonight. I probably did that a little bit backwards. Okay, these a little bit darker. Coloring is always kind of fun. And I'm going to give, that's skinny. We're just going to color the wire here. And the little tops of the light bulbs. A little plug. You've got to plug those lights in. So basically I'm just kind of coloring in the wire. And I think I'm missing something. I missed part of his shoe. This is part of his other shoe. Yep. He's got so many lights and all kinds of stuff all wrapped up here. It's kind of, it's missing what was there. Okay. And part of his sock too. There we go. And let's see, let's give him a little green collar. And some brown hair. And he's looking a little pale because he's looking a little white. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Petal pink and just kind of give him a little bit of color here. Looks like he's at least needs to have gone out in the sun. I know they live in the North Pole with Santa at his workshop, but he does need a little bit of color to his face, so he's not so white. There we go. He's looking just a tad better. And, okay. So there is our elf, and I'm just going to stamp the sentiment on it that says, "Don't get your tinsel in a tangle." And then we're going to be ready to put him on the card, and we'll be all set. So I'm just going to stamp that. My stamp is very dark, so I don't want it quite so dark. So I just stamped off once so it wouldn't be quite so dark. Okay, now we are ready to put him on here. You can see it kind of bled through just a little bit, but that's okay because that's the back. That's why if you're coloring something like this, it's a good idea to have a piece of paper underneath. Like I have this grid paper here, so that if any of your colors bleed through, it doesn't bleed through on like your table or something like that. I've never seen it do that, but you never know. I got a little bit of glue there. Had some on my hand, evidently. Just try and wipe that off. now we're ready to put this on the front of your card. So this is the card that we had where we folded it, and this piece is going to go so that it's going to cover the other piece up so you won't see it. So it's going to go on just like that. You're going to center it right on the front, and when you're putting it on, you don't want to put glue on the entire thing because then you're going to glue your card closed and you wouldn't be able to open. So you're only going to put glue on the back side of this half, so right here. So you don't want to put any over here because then it'll just glue it closed. You're just going to put it on just the half. So I'm just going to put it just a little bit here and kind of about down to there. So you can see it's only on the one side. So when we flip it over and actually attach it, it's going to cover up the other piece that's underneath. And you're just going to press it down really good. And you're done. There you go. So there is your card. This is the other one. This is the red one. So now you can see what it looks like with red and green. Oh, I made him a little dark there. You might have to take some of that off. So there you go. There is your card. And I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like the cards. And I hope you'll try this. It's really quite easy. I am going to put all of the measurements in the comments so you can try it yourself. And this video will also be posted on my YouTube. And I'm also going to be blogging about this, so you'll find it on my blog at www.jumpingintostamping.com. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you next week on Take 2 Tuesday. Have a good one.